All right. Morning, folks. Let me know if you can see and hear me right now. All right, cool. Sweet. We got some people here. All right, and we finally got video and sound. I use the Streamlabs app on my phone to do all this because in order to use the YouTube app to live stream, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. I'm at about 830 right now, so anyway, so it's kind of a little difficult sometimes to get the stream started up. But anyway, is it Live or is it Memorex? I remember those commercials. Good to see you here, Jeff. Anyway, yeah, looks good. But yeah, going between Streamlabs on the phone and connecting that to the app and everything on the website and YouTube and controlling it back and forth, that kind of gets to be a pain after a little while. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing all right this morning. Got a really good crowd. Of course, we got Rune. Rune, you're always here. Thank you, my friend. Don's Locks. Good early morning to you, Don. Matthew, first time, I believe. Paul, I'm not sure. Have you been here before? And then we got Jeff Moss in the house. King Street, good morning. Mad Hatter, good to have you here, sir. Anyway, this morning we got a couple things that we're going to go over. We're going to talk about this guy that I got the other day. Showed y'all this in a video, and I don't know, I think something might be going on with it because of this inside lever. If you hit it just right, then yeah. Anyway, so we're going to look at that in a second in detail. We're also going to look at this old guy. It's a National Lock deadbolt. And yes, right before like the live started, actually probably about 15 minutes ago is when I finished doing this thing. Just broke out a piece of 2x4 and a little piece of wood that I had here. Drilled it out to make it fit. And anyway, we're going to look at this thing. This is a pain in the butt to work on. But first off, over on Lock Chat last night, and I haven't put anything on Twitter about it, but Thursday night, I get home. Actually, I was late getting home from work Thursday because I stopped to help somebody that I work with. That's actually where I got this lock. And I'll tell you the story about it. But anyway, after I got done with that, I got home, and actually about 20 minutes before I got home, I get a phone call from my fiance, aka the Mooch. And anyway, long story about all that, but yes, a Mooch. And anyway, he says, honey, don't come in the back door because I'm sick, I'm coughing, I am running a fever, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh crap. So anyhow, I come in, I went in through the front door and, stayed separated and everything. Well, in that situation, with everything going on with the coronavirus, I had to say, I had to pick up the phone, call my boss, which is high up in the command system in my agency as I am. There's only a couple bosses that I have to go to. Reported the situation. The assignment that I have originally, normally I'm inside a public area, public office, and anyway, we came up with a game plan. The mooch would not go get tested Thursday night or Friday morning. So I go to work. We've got a plan to keep me isolated in my patrol car instead of inside the office. And I would be there just in case of an emergency, which I'm normally just there in case of an emergency. But anyway, long story short, I had to leave work, come back home. He went and got tested yesterday. I took him up here to the hospital to get tested. He's actually not showing any symptoms right now, so that's a good thing. I feel fine other than, kind of knowing that I'm going to take a hit to the wallet. But anyway, he's okay, I guess, as far as okay gets with him. But anyhow, so now I am here. And by the way, Thursday night, I slept out here in the shop. I have this really nice air mattress that actually came with the place. It wasn't that comfy. It was a nice air mattress, but it wasn't that comfortable to sleep out here. It was just different, I guess, sleeping out here in the shop. Really made me think about buying or making some curtains for the windows. Yeah. Anyway, so right now, we're both fine, feel fine. We're just trying to sit back and see what happens. It'll probably be about Monday, Tuesday at the latest before we get any type of results or anything. And, once we get a confirmed negative, I'll be able to get back to work. As much as I'd love to have a few days off, I can't afford it. So I would, I'm really hoping that this will pick up. That everything will be negative. I'll be able to get back to work, and we'll all be fine. So anyhow, in the meantime, I am here. I didn't do anything out here in the shop. Well, I did do some stuff out here in the shop yesterday, but nothing really to make a video on. Thought about making a video on some of this stuff that we're going to look at today, but I just decided to do it today. Get it all done. Let me look at the comments real quick. Hey, Alpha Centauri. Greetings to Germany. Hope everything's well there. Fred, good to see you here. Matthew. I'm stuck in the shop either until we get a confirmed negative or 14 days, whichever comes first. So, I'm not really stuck here in the shop because, I've figured, basically I figured what the hell. If I was around it, I was around it. I've been exposed at work, I know, just like all the people I work around. We know somebody who's had it has come in. We've just been lucky and not picked it up. But anyway, yeah. So, let's see. Hey, Fred, good to see you here. Thank you, thank you. I've been working hard on this physique. Glad I look healthy. Um, anyway, let's see. Yeah, Don's the actually during this testing is free at hospitals, at least around this area. They do have drive up clinics in Charlotte, which is the major city where I work in, and it's pretty much the biggest hotspot for all this uh, you know, in this state. Charlotte's the biggest hotspot for cases. So they do have some free drive-up clinics. The ER, or accident and emergency as it's known everywhere else. We can go in. They've got all the protocols and everything. So, I mean, it's not completely free all the time, but for this, it's, they're not worried about it. Yeah. Um, yeah, Fred. Fred, that's the unfortunate thing. With this stimulus and everything, it's actually encouraging people to stay home, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing, because if you qualify for it, if you're not an essential employee and you're losing work because of this, then you can get more money staying at home collecting unemployment than you can by actually going to work, And, we've talked about this. The cost of living throughout the U.S. is so widely varied, and that's the way it's always been, and I hate to say it, it's something that diversity, really shows what, sort of what makes our country great, in a sense, because we have some areas that are very, very concentrated, and then some areas that are very rural. I don't have a lot of extra cash all the time, but for what I'm making pretty good money, or fairly decent. I could be making more. If I was a locksmith in this area, I definitely would be making more. But, compared to what the average pay is for what I do, say in parts of areas like, where Jason is in Mississippi, or in, West Virginia or Nebraska, what I make would be very, very good salary there. But again, what I make here, I couldn't afford to even think about moving cross country to, California, where I've got a lot of family, and I would love to live in Southern California, except for the fact that it costs, like 8 times more than what it does here just to live. But anyway, let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. I posted a tweet a couple weeks ago, and I said, I've worked through fires, floods, riots, hurricanes, tornadoes, civil unrest, and 4 presidential elections. And just this once, I wish that somebody would say, "Hey, guy, sit this one out, stay at home." But, I still couldn't do that. It's in my nature to be out there. It's in my nature to go work. I'll be one of those. I'll be like my father. my father will turn 71 this year in just a few months. And, he still works at Lowe's Hardware at least, every hour that they will give him, he still works. And he has a second job working as an organist for a church. He's piano and organist player for a church. And so, he likes to stay busy. And when he's not at work getting paid, he's at home doing stuff around the house, moving walls and repainting and installing new doors and all that good stuff. So, I couldn't just stay, couldn't just stay at home. Let's see, just catching up on the comments a little bit more. Hey, G-Key, man. We've not actually started talking about locks yet. Just the fact that I'm under home quarantine right now because of exposure from my fiance. And anyway, not much else. Let's see. Yeah, Rune, everything in California causes cancer. Even if it doesn't cause cancer in another state, like, this lock right here, it doesn't cause cancer in the state of North Carolina, but as soon as you take it to California, according to them, it will give you cancer, or it could give you cancer. And actually, California should be studied for why, everything there, like why there's a high number of cancers there. My uncle was a sheriff's deputy, canine officer for many years out there in Southern California. And 6 years ago now, he passed away from lung cancer, but he never smoked a day in his life. I mean, he didn't do any of that. And it was about 6 months before he passed away that they found out that, he had cancer. And it was already like spread and metastasized and everything. And it wasn't good. But, it's just weird about cancer. Or California and cancer, yes. The hell with cancer. Excuse my language, but yes, the hell with cancer. Let's see. Yeah, Don. I'm under house arrest. Let's hope they put some really, really good logs on there. I'm almost through this ASA V10. I don't have the sidebar in there, and it's just the 6 pins on top. I can get through 5 pins just fine. 6 top pins, it's giving me problems. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about this guy. This is the Schlage ND53PD. And you can see here, we got a bit of saggy lever. Must mean this thing's old, right? Well, I don't know. If you pull it and you turn it, and I discovered this yesterday, I want to get it in the video. The outside return spring is pretty strong here. I was trying to fit one of the cylinders in here. Now it's not going to do it. But it feels like something in the spring cage is catching. So, I don't know. We should probably take this apart just to see what's going on. I've not actually had this whole thing apart. So, yeah, I mean, I really want to use it because this has this function like I was showing in the video. You can push this in, and then the outside is locked. And then when you either open it with the key or turn the inside lever, it pops out. Or you can push it in and twist. Inside is always free. Did you guys hear that click? Let's see if I can get that done again. See? Right there. I don't know what that is. You know, Jeff, if you're still around, or anybody else who's dealt with these, I don't know what could cause that, but I'm guessing it's something in the spring cage. But yeah, the outside's fine. And if you notice, when it's kind of saggy like this, you turn the outside lever and the inside lever turns. Now that's drooping a lot. Let's take this apart. Let's go ahead and take this guy apart. I don't like this. I just spent money on this log. So anyway, Don, I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. We're both just too polite to say it. Anyway, but yes. G Key man, let's take this. Roan, actually this isn't a storeroom function. Is where you can set it to be a storeroom function, I guess you could say. You know, if you push and twist on the inside, then it's always locked from the outside, and even when you use the key, it doesn't, it doesn't override that. But if you twist it, then you use a key, it will lock the inside. So, the actual storeroom functions that I've seen on the inside actually don't have any type of button or twist. The inside lever will always get you out, but the outside lever is always locked. So, but this is I think after decoding, and those of you who have motion sickness, hang on please. Might want to look away. I had floppy lever, now I have floppy camera. Okay, I think I got that camera fixed. All right, sorry guys for bouncing y'all around. Let me get my pokey tool. All right, pokey tool, and start breaking this thing down. Of course, for the inside, you don't have to do anything other than poke the lever in. And since I don't have a cylinder installed for the outside, all you have to do is poke it in. There we go, the sleeve, the rosette. On this side, the rosette, the sleeve. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Caused by somebody leaning on it. Yep. Well, I'm not sure this. I mean, obviously this was used because I got it off eBay. But I just want to see if we can take it apart and maybe diagnose this, maybe have it as a learning tool to where somebody else can look and diagnose it. Remove the castle nut. Okay. Plastic sleeve in there. All right. Okay, the mechanism, can you see that? There we go. That seems to be working good, and it feels decent to use. Put the lever on. Okay, well that's a little weak right there. Whereas if you put it on this side, now that feels weak too, and that's the outside. Honestly, I probably just don't know what the hell I'm looking for to see what's wrong with it. Let's get this bit. This little cutter pin that's right here. Get that. And that. Okay. I've actually never seen one of these disassembled before, but it's very similar to the A series. It feels like. Jason, good morning. Glad you showed up about now. I could use a hand with somebody who knows something about these. I think Jeff abandoned me. Trying to look at this this D series lever and why it was acting funky. Now I'm just trying to get it to where I don't lose everything inside of it. because I've never taken one apart this far before. I've got a whole nother lock to look at too. See, there we go. That goes that way. And this goes this way. And get that back on like that. And of course that doesn't work the way it used to. I don't think, maybe. Does that look right? Yeah. Yeah, Jason, it's not seated. Let's see. Let's try it this way. I can't get this part all the way off. Probably because there's an extra little step that I don't know of. I'm getting ready to shoot these springs all over the place and I don't want to. Under, okay. Under like that. Okay. We might just have to move on to the next lock and then I deal with this later. Okay. Look down the outside. How's that looking, Jason? Like I made a mess of it? can get it sort of all back together that way. However, it's just getting that. Okay. They're trying to run on me. You know, I thought that this would be very similar to an A series. I thought wrong. Okay. Well, that's not traveling enough there. Okay, the shaft flat bar. Can I turn it in through here, perhaps? Hook part of it needs to catch under the outer. There it comes. Okay. So here we have all... Shit. Ah, hell. Okay. How much did I lose? Came apart all right, Jason. There's the inside of it. Yeah. Yeah. King Street, you got it. Oh, Lord. All right. Shit. And you guys know that I don't normally cuss in my videos or for anything. This is worth cussing for. Let's see. These guys. I'll go back here, correct? Does that look about right? And then together like that. Is that what I'm looking for? I think that's what I'm looking for. See how this goes right here. This is the outside shaft. Keep that squeezed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, smoke them if you go. Okay, that wasn't that bad. It was only a couple feet away. Yeah, Pocket Women is the I'm reading it. I'm just with the delay and everything. It just takes a minute to catch up, and unfortunately, I don't just sit back and wait. Sometimes, if I think I see how it went, I really did not mean to break this down this far. Okay, now that's the flat bar, correct, Jason? There we go. Okay. So that's back together that way. Nope. That goes this way. That goes like that. This goes back through here. Oh no. My hands are so sticky from all that goop in there. There we go. And that back. There. Boom. Yeah. Retracts. That's the inside. So the original problem was the inside floppy lever. If we can get this on correctly. You know, it's kind of floppy. I didn't know if it was the spring cage or what. But anyhow, just glad that the chassis is back together. Thankfully. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for your support and advice. Jason, thank you for showing up at just the right time. Anyway, I will finish exploring that later. Maybe if you have time, Jason, maybe you could share a little bit of it. Let's see here. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, the spring cage assist, which is what this part right here. I'm thinking on the inside, the side that was, on the inside when it came to me, I was thinking that spring was a little weak or something. But if you cranked it just right, it would catch, and then the inside handle would have just the right amount of springiness as the outside did. So I guess in my uneducated opinion, that means that something ain't right. Okay, so that was an interesting little detour. All right. Next lock I want to look at is this guy that took out. The other day, or actually a couple weeks ago, the guy that I work with, he told me he had this double cylinder deadbolt on his door gun from the house to the garage, and the problem was his key would only work the outside lock. It didn't work the inside. This turned into quite a little project. Not quite as involved as what I just got done with. But anyway, and I built this little stand actually this morning. I kind of like it. It's really, really close right there, but y'all probably see this again. And I haven't mortised this part yet. But anyway, this is I believe this is a National Lock deadbolt. The keyway will take a quick set, but not all the way. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. Basically, he had a key, and he asked me to rekey the inside to the outside. I did it. His key that he had was probably at least 20 years old, and it was really worn down, looking like, it was probably getting ready to break. The outside was kind of hard to turn, and anyways, so I rekeyed the inside. I knew that this lock would be interesting. I knew it was a pain, but I just kind of wanted to show everybody what actually was up with this. Again, I missed the timing up when I put this lock in, so I can't pick it and take it apart. There's nothing to pick. Really, it's pretty easy. What I meant was I can't pick it and unlock it. But I just wanted to show you some of the funky stuff going on with this. We can take these through bolts out. And apparently, the best I can tell, what happened was, the lock's pretty old. And his house is about 30 years old. But anyway, the outside was definitely keyed different from the inside. Because when I took the inside cylinder off, when I took it out and used his key to put in, it was just the heights, the cuts were all off. You could tell it wasn't keyed the same. And so I rekeyed the inside. This didn't use, again, now that I've got it out of here, you can see it still doesn't take a regular quick set. And yes, I know this one's already cut, but it just doesn't go all the way in. So maybe we'll take that apart But what's really weird is let me get the camera and the light to where we can look down in here. Okay. There we go. All right, so the first thing you can see in here is this other big screw. And what that does is actually hold the two outer shrouds together on the door. And my buddy, he wound up deciding just to replace the whole thing. And so I went back the other day before my exposure, or possible exposure, and replaced it. He had bought a Defiant deadbolt and put that on there just fine. I had to kind of drill out the hole because these are slightly smaller diameter. The hole was slightly smaller diameter, and then adjust the strike. But you can see right here with the bolt extended, if you pull on it, there's actually that little spring right there, and then that little spring-loaded latch in there that pulls down out of the way. When you reach in, you turn it opposite of what you think. Or maybe I've got it in upside down, but this is the way it was installed in the door. And then this little spring here pops out. So I have no clue where that attaches to. I've not been able to find it in there. I'll go ahead and take this guy out. Actually, so I don't bump the camera anymore. All right, sound warning. Yeah, Jason, I figured you would have seen this lock before, and be able to share some insight. I've decided that if I ever encounter one again, I'm going to recommend replacement because these things are a pain. Yeah, that's the bolt right there, and that little spring that just doesn't really hook to anything. You know, you retract the bolt and it just sort of pops up like that, which, you know, I figure it means it's supposed to be attached either somewhere up here or it's supposed to be inside there. I don't see how it would be in there though, but that spring is definitely come unsprung. Maybe back through there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, and even with the cylinder out, guys, you can see quickset doesn't go in, so I don't know, is the same basic keyway as quickset, if you guys can see in there, but regular quickset will not insert all the way. And it does not use quickset depths with the key. I know that. The key was a custom coined bow from the locksmith who probably put it in, which they've been in business in the area for over 100 years. So they put in a lot of locks in that area. But anyhow, this guy right here is just yeah, no. I was ready to throw it out. Anyway, all right, one last motion warning. I'm going to swing it around this way. And anyway, it's about gonna wrap it up, I reckon. Yeah, an old lock, a lock that's probably worn out, needs some new springs in it. It has floppy lever syndrome, FLS. Maybe somebody out there would be kind and do a video on the Schlage D series lever handles. Even though they've already done a video on the Schlage D series knobs. Hint, hint. I watched that, but it didn't go into detail about what I've got. So, anyway, let's look at the comments. Let's see. Yeah, Peter, that's what I figured. Is that it was just worn out. I was expecting it to be like a Wiser or an Arrow or something like that. But anyway, yeah, it probably is. I'm gonna go and I guess fully disassemble the cylinder and see what fits in there with no pins. Just pick it, take the plug out, and then see how a quick set fits in there. So anyway, yeah, guys, that's about it. That's about all I can do this morning. Glad you came to see me. And again, I will keep you guys updated as far as when we get test results back. Again, should be as soon as tomorrow, actually, but probably more like Monday when we can get the actual confirmation, because I have to have a yes or no confirmation and it has to be documented before I can go back to work. Until then, we're both, physically healthy. One of us is, well, probably both of us have mental issues as well at this point, but one has them more than others. Not naming any names, but he's in the house asleep right now. Anyway, so yeah, I will keep you guys updated on Twitter and in the comments and stuff. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I've been going on for about an hour now, and it's about time to wrap up. So anyway, appreciate everybody coming out. Had a bunch of viewers that have never stopped by before. Let's see. Yeah, Rune, I don't know. I might have to. I'm not sure. It depends on what depends on people sort of outside of my chain, as well as inside of my chain of command. But anyway, yeah, I will definitely keep everybody up to date over on Twitter, and appreciate all of you stopping by. Appreciate sticking with me. This one kind of rambled on a little bit and almost got into some trouble, but I recovered, hopefully. So anyway, in about an hour, go check out Jason's live feed over on his channel, SE Lock and Key. If it's bedtime or past bedtime, then have a great evening, and we will see y'all next time. But anyway, thanks again to everybody joining in, and should be live again next Saturday. I may do a live before then. Doing a live seems to be working better for me than the videos that I've been recording and trying to edit together. They just haven't been turning out that well. So anyway, appreciate y'all sticking around. Spread the word. We should be back next Monday. So anyway, and I will see y'all over on Jason's live here in just a little bit. And anyway, have a great day and stay out of trouble, stay healthy, and stay away from people who are, coughing and hacking. Definitely. All right. Have a good one. We'll see y'all next time.